Hi friend, how are you? This is July 22nd. We're Wednesday. If you missed Block Wednesday yesterday on Tuesday, it's already out. So watch yesterday's video, go download it at the website. Somehow I got it going on Tuesday. I'm Pat Sloan. So let's do our challenge first. Our challenge will be a fun one. It'll be a show and tell today because I want to see your wall hangings. What kind of quilts have you made for wall hangings? It's always interesting to talk about quilts as a size because some people love to make just bed quilts. Everything has to be usable. They have to be big enough to wrap around them or big enough to put on beds. Lap quilts are like they're small quilts. And then there's a lot of people who have smaller spaces or not a lot of, not a lot of people to give quilts to. And so to make things, they do wall hangings because then you still get to make stuff. I came into quilt making intending to make wall hangings. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make things to put on my wall so I could look at it. I mean, I put all this work into it. I want to look at it. I look at them as art. And I have been making things since I was a little kid, so I have made all kinds of things. So for me, when I went to fabric in the form of quilts, I was really focused on the wall hangings for a really long time, and I've since made all sizes of projects. But I really like a wall hanging. I really like to change things out. I like to change for the seasons, just change for the holidays, change for the color. So for me, a wall hanging can be a lap size or even a bigger than lap size. I will hang on the wall. So just like our, bring home the Christmas tree, I will probably hang that on the wall. That will be what I do with that at Christmas this year. So I do have a smaller wall hanging here, the star. And this star is a pattern from my Teach Me to Machine Quilt, learning how to put the 3 layers together. The star is in that book, the pattern. But what I did is in the center of it, what I did in the center is put an embroidery piece from my Solaris. That is my sewing machine that comes when you buy a Baby Lock Solaris machine. You get a few of my designs, including that one. But this particular thing is like an 8-inch square in the center of the quilt. And so if you didn't want to make the quilt all patchwork like I did for the book, you could take a pretty piece of fabric and cut it that size. You could do an embroidery that you have. You could do vintage handkerchiefs, that's the word. Couldn't think of the word. Vintage handkerchiefs. Any kind of piece of fabric that you could cut and showcase in the middle, you could do that. In the book, the quilting is to practice the spiral like that. So that is where you'll find it in the book, because my Teach Me to Machine Quilt book, you have lots of patterns in it. So today your challenge is to show me a wall hanging. If you have never done a wall hanging, if you are somebody, you might be new to quilting, you might be somebody who's always made bigger quilts. If you've never done a wall hanging, I challenge you, a mini challenge within a challenge. I challenge you to look around and find a project that you would like to make as a wall hanging. Give yourself a challenge to make a smaller piece. They don't take as long. You get this great satisfaction from finishing without it taking months or years to do. I love wall hangings. So I think sometime we should do that one together, but not right now. Not right now. Okay. On the calendar today, it says Summer Dreams, and Summer Dreams is a 5-week tour with Oliso irons. And today is Christopher Thompson's day on the Summer Dreams tour. The link is below. You can go over and visit his website, and there will be a way to enter to win a mini Oliso iron. And yes, right now the irons are out of stock. They're waiting for new stock to come in again. The last grouping came in and out very quickly because it had been a delay with them coming. And so now they're just waiting on the next shipment. But we're having each of these 5 weeks. I'm the last week. Each of the 5 weeks, the person who is featured has a small summertime project, something easy and small to do, which segues great into talking about wall hangings. And Christopher does a lot of small projects because he lives in New York City, and so he has a small apartment in Manhattan. He's down in the garment district, and so he makes a lot of small projects, and they're just wonderful. He's a designer for Riley Blake, and he also does a lot of with their solids. So if you're interested in solids, Christopher is an amazing person to follow. So okay, that'll be the link for Summer Dreams. I also have a link down there to my Bloomtopia charity quilt from Make-A-Wish over at eBay. So I hope if you yourself are not going to bid on it, I hope that you would do me a favor and share that out to your friends, your communities, because someone else might want to bid on it, and that will be wonderful to raise money for Make-A-Wish. Okay, now I want to talk about Snips. Snips. Because of the broken wrist and my inability to do much, I am finally on the right hand. I also had carpal tunnel surgery at the same time as putting in plates for my wrists. So there's a lot going on here, but I'm getting mobility back and a little strength. And I decided that, I have to keep moving all of this, and I needed to see what I could actually strength-wise do. So I was looking at snips that have spring action in them so that they are helping with the process of opening up. And years ago I used to have spring action scissors, like way long time ago, but I don't have it anymore. So I've collected up these snips. Greg's going to come down here and let's take a look, because I also went ahead and bought another snip. So here we go. So here are these 3 snips I already owned. That's just scissors. Don't need those right now. And then this is the snips that I ordered. And I had put a thing on my Facebook page asking people like what did they use, what did they like, what snips, etc., etc. And so what I found first is that this particular pair are very, I gotta get it into my hand. The spring action, first of all, they're super light. So they're super light, which means I can hold it. And I can open and close them really easily. I kind of have to use the whole hand, so it has to kind of be in there like that. I don't want finger holds or anything like that. I have to hold on both sides. So then I had these, and the first couple days ago after I got this, I could not do anything with these. But now I can put the whole thing in my hand, and I can do a little bit. But it is hard. They are harder to open and close. And of the 3 that I owned already, this pair, which is very light, I have to use, these fingers don't do much, they're still swollen, but I can hardly close it. They are way too stiff, even though they're light. So I ordered this pair. This was recommended. It's actually advertised, I have a link below for it. It is Westcott. They're advertised for arthritis. They have a whole bunch like that. So I got this one. I have a friend sending me a pair also, another kind I think. So this has a nice big handle, which I thought, oh, that may not be good, but it's okay. And it's not it's not too hard to open and close. So I'm going to try that. My goal, because I can't sew, I'm not sewing at all, but my goal is to deadhead my flowers. Okay, Greg, you can bring that up. Yeah, so my whole goal right now is to use these guys, or this new one. This seems pretty good too, because I got a lot there I can get in my hand. It doesn't slip out. That little red one's a little slippy. But my goal is to deadhead the flowers, because that I can do. I can go ahead and clip them. And I did a little bit of that this morning. But this also got me to thinking. There are probably, I know especially when I was reading, like these were for arthritis, and a lot of people were writing that, they had arthritis or family members did, and they got spring action scissors for this, that. I thought there was a lot of things that we may not at certain points in time or be able to do anymore, things that are difficult. And I thought it would be really interesting to develop a list of tools that help us. One thing like with the machines is a lot of people don't realize that you can get a machine now that you don't need a foot pedal. So if you have a broken foot, or you can't put pressure on your leg or whatever, you can actually sew by pushing a button on the front of your machine. And so you don't need a foot pedal. There are things like that. So I am very interested in what you might know about. So list that below here. And I think I'm going to work on compiling some sort of list of tools that helps us when we are restricted in movement or weight or whatever it is for some part that goes with our quilt making. Because all of that, I think, is really important for us to be able to you know, keep doing our sewing. And the tools are out there. We just need a list of them. So I was quite interested that these were designed for the arthritis. That was like, wow, you know, because I don't have that now, but who knows, someday I might. So, okay, everything is below. Today we're doing wall hangings. You can show me a wall hanging you've done. If you have never done a wall hanging, then tell me, you know, go look for one. Make it on your list to do. Coming up this week, we have, real quick, the, we're going to be doing the table runner, the morning coffee. So that is this week. I think it's on Friday. It's on your calendar. All right, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you stopped by. I will see you online. I love you so much. Mwah.